When you think of Kagero, you usually think of Overlord or Blade Master. However, the deck I'm going to show you today is something different. It focuses on using the guard restrict abilities in the Kagero clan and a whole deck list based around them. Remember to leave a comment down below, let me know what you think, don't forget to subscribe, and enjoy! Starting off with our guard restrict cards, we have 4 Draconic Waterfall, 4 Dual Axe Archdragon, 2 Red Dive Griffin, and 4 Wyvern Strike Doha. These are all the guard restrict cards for the deck. Each of them does something different to help this deck's winning image. Draconic Waterfall, of course, is on attack. You can Soul Blast a grade 3. He gains plus 10k and your opponent cannot call Sentinels. Dual Axe retires your opponent's back row at the cost of Counterblast 1 and discard and gives all your attacks the Battledore skill. Wyvern Strike Doha, if your opponent has no rear guards, they can't call normal units from hand to Garden Circle. And Red Dive Griffin is an interesting one to where when it boosts a Vanguard, so only in the same column as it, you could Soul Blast 1 when your opponent's Guardians is placed, and then you retire that Guardian, but it kills itself at the end of battle, so it's kind of in and out, as I like to call it. This is your whole guard restrict engine for the deck. Each of them has different aspects to how this deck is able to win games, but it's only possible in this deck to win games with our guard restrict engine if we have a way to see all of these pieces. And for that reason, we run a lot of cards which could help us do that. We have 2 of the book order Ingenious Tactics, 4 Wyvern Strike Garin, and 4 Flame of Hope Airmo. Wyvern Strike Garin, of course, is really important because we play 4 copies of Wyvern Strike Doha. And Doha, when it's placed from hand only on rearguard, you could search it out. So it helps this deck establish kind of a board presence and give yourself a +1 to your field. And then when it boosts and the attack hits, when it's boosted Wyvern Strike Doha, so essentially when they're in the same column, you Counterblast 1 to draw a card and Soul Charge 1. That Soul also fills effects for Red Dive Griffin and Waterfall if you Soul Charge a grade 3, and also the book order. So the book order is really important to the Kagero deck because it has a counter charge option now. If you guys saw the vlog that I did with this deck, you're able to draw a good amount of cards now that we play this. So being able to Counterblast 3, Soul Blast 3, draw 3 cards, and give 10k to 3 units in your front row is really powerful, making it so that you have a way to push, and this also acts as kind of an alternative finisher for the deck with the power output that you're able to do. And a lot of matchups you're going to be going Force 1, so the 10k could be pretty win more depending on the matchup, but in some matchups where you get pushed really early, because some players like to do that against Kagero, Force 2 is not even a bad choice just because this book order is kind of like the equalizer in the matchups where you're kind of overcommitting. And then Airmo, of course, when it boosts, it gets plus 3k. And then when your opponent's rearguards retire, you could draw a card and countercharge 1 at the cost of retiring it. So just to get damage back and allow us to use the book order and all of our counterblast effects, because if you notice outside of the book order, everything just costs counterblast 1, counterblast 1, counterblast 1. So the counterblast adds up, and with Airmo, with how many cards we see, you're always going to get this off at least once or twice a game, sometimes even all 4. And then because this is Kagero, we have to run retire cards, so in that case we run 3 copies of Draconic Burnout and 2 copies of Demonic Dragon Mage Kimnara. These 5 cards are super important to our strategy. However, if I had Sable Dragonator, I would run that instead because it would help fill the soul. But for now, Kimnara works really well because there's a board wipe combo with Dual Axe, to where how Dual Axe retires the back row, you can Counterblast 1, select your opponent's back row with Kimnara's skill, and then with Dual Axe's skill, you retire the back row. But you have to use this one first so their front row gets retired. So these are just kind of, and Burnout of course is a spot retire. I can't wait for Torrid Cannon next set, because we always have to get to that place to where our opponent has no rearguards with Doha. And if you use its skill to properly recycle like grade 2 or graders, if you discard like a grade 3 with Dual Axe's skill, and then you want to try and get it so you could reride with Waterfall or whatever, you could use your Doha searching out your Garin, and then shuffle your deck so that grade 3 gets mixed up in your deck so you can try and ride or draw into it with the drive check. So a lot of good synergy there. And then of course, for Bellicosity, this card's really important because it gives power to itself when something's retired. And if you use Dual Axe's ability, it'll gain 15k if your opponent has a full back row. So it's really, really powerful in that sense. If it's on a force marker, it'll swing 25k to crit, or a force 1 marker, 35k. And then for triggers, we have 7 crit, 5 draw. These are the really nice festival collections. Heal and Ragla for our quick shield and standard grade 1 ride. This deck is actually my favorite deck to play right now, and here is a combo that you could do with it. So this is kind of like what your typical dual axe setup would look like, and I want to go over sequencing in this deck because sequencing is really important. If you do something wrong, your whole turn could kind of shut down. So if you have the 3 counterblast face up, so you could use the book order. Some people I see online, like in certain matchups where they have it, they just use it straight up first. With this deck, however, you don't want to do that. So you want to activate the dual axe's ability first and like discard whatever, so you can retire your opponent's back row, and then you would activate the Airmo, allowing you to draw another card, and then countercharge one, and that's when you would activate the book order. I just want to make y'all aware of kind of like the setup and how sequencing kind of works in my head for when I'm performing some of the skills. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much it for this deck profile. It's super fun. I think that it could compete with a lot of the meta, but it's like one turn behind a lot of it because you always have to be riding to really take advantage of your waterfall especially. But anyway, guys, thank you all for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.